Hello to all. It is June 2nd, Wednesday. And that means what time is it, Chris?
It is podcast time, insurance podcast questions, buddy.
So how you been doing, Chris? We haven't talked in about a week and a half.
I've been doing pretty good. Keeping busy. We're still writing policies and helping people. So even during COVID, as we usually top off our shows with just talking COVID. Obviously, the vet process is still growing, and they're going through and getting as many people vaccinated as they can, and that's certainly been positive. And then the other positive is that people are getting out and about. So hopefully there'll be maybe a little bit of a 2-week lull where people are just kind of focused on other things, and then they'll get back to wanting to focus on what's good for them in their future in relation to life insurance and fixed annuities and helping themselves out for the future.
Well, I don't know how you feel, but when I'm out and about, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I don't have a mask on. I'm such a badass. I'm not wearing a mask now. I'm doing something I'm not supposed to be. But, as long as you're vaccinated, supposedly we are safe. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm with you on that. I do find that I still bring my mask, or I make sure I have one with just about everywhere I go.
Sure.
I happen to be doing some grocery shopping on Sunday at one of our local markets here, and I had mine on, and then I kind of pulled it down a couple times just to catch a breath, and was actually on my phone, so I had pulled that down to activate it with my face activation. But that being said, there were people in there that did not have them on at all, and then there's people that are wearing them, and either those folks are not vaccinated or they're just being extra safe. So I do like the fact that most places now going in and out, if you are vaccinated, and I've not had one person ask me to see my card or anything.
No, me either.
Matter system, which I'm okay with.
I was taken aback a little bit. We went out for dinner with another couple, and I was talking to him, and he had COVID in March. And I asked him, I said, have you been vaccinated? He goes, no, and I'm in no hurry to be vaccinated because I already had it, And I'd like to throw it out there to our listeners, how you feel about something like that. I mean, my wife's a nurse, and she said you can definitely get it again. So it kind of it sounds like this is your personal choice to do what you want to do, whatever you feel safe for. But I'm just worried that I don't want to see anybody that I know put themselves in harm's way because they got some bad information from somebody. I mean, it's a little aggravating because a lot of this, it seems like they're still making it up as they go, and it's hard to know what to believe.
Yeah, I fully agree with that, and that kind of, maybe we can use that as a step forward to segue into what we had marked down as our next topic, and that kind of goes into social media and what you're reading on social media. There's so many different stories out there, and I guess it is up to you as far as what you want to believe or not believe, and considering the reliable sources. But you and I both spend a considerable amount of time on social media promoting our own businesses, and we're also involved with some other pages and whatnot that we also promote or we run as administrators. And being, businessmen and folks, guys that rely pretty heavily on social media. I don't want to bring up a super subject, Ed, but I know that you had something that happened to you with social media recently. Yeah. You want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, I'm actually still dealing with it. I mean, I've used social media for such a long time for my different businesses before I was in the insurance world, and now in the insurance world, especially in the last year and a half, we've depending on it quite a bit for promoting ourselves, promoting our business, and doing business. And I got a message from Facebook yesterday morning saying that my account was suspended because I was not of legal age to join Facebook. Chris, I'm 53 years old. I'm not under 18 years old. So I'm sure someone thought they were being funny and reported me to Facebook saying that I was not 18 years old. But here's the problem. A lot of our personal pages are the gateways for the different pages that we do take care of. Insurance Questions Podcast, my business page, a couple of the community pages that me and you are involved with, even our fun Buffalo Blue Jays page, I can't even do anything with. So you got to ask your question, is it too powerful sometimes? Because if they can just make that decision because someone said something and it said in the email that it can take up to 30 days for suspending my account. Well, between me, you, and the fence post, it takes a lot for us to get our professional page done because we have to go through so many guidelines to make it just perfect. I was even at my wit's end yesterday. I called RIT for the company that we work for, and they're like, there's nothing we can do. Why don't you make a professional page? And I'm like, well, I can do that. I can do a professional page, but when I go to publish it, it's going to say it already exists, and we're back to square one, and they had no answer for me, Chris. So I am very frustrated. And so, if somebody's out there listening and they did something like this to another person, it's very impactful, and you're hurting a lot of people, because if I can't contact people when they reach out to me, I can't help them, and I just think that's just plain wrong.
Yeah, it is, and it's a shame if it was, as you said, you don't know exactly how it happened.
No.
But to speculate, if it was someone that was trying to be funny or doing it as a goof or a joke, not affected you for what could be the next month as far as being able to administer those pages. So
most definitely.
I guess the only consolation, and hopefully if it was a goof, the same person might be listening, and maybe they can come forward and contact Facebook and say, hey, I made a mistake. I don't know. But either way, it is a disruption, and it's a shame because we do rely on that quite a bit, as you said, on various platforms, not just Facebook, but our Facebook pages are connected to Twitter and LinkedIn, and we both utilize those in a multitude of fashions on multiple pages. So I'm sorry that that's happened. Hopefully you and I can continue to work together to get it straightened out. And maybe it won't be the whole 30 days, but it really is amazing how big a wrench it can throw into things. So
most definitely when you're depending on social media to conduct business, right. It just makes you think,
Yeah.
Well, let's get off this bad topic and talk about what's going on with juvenile policies in the insurance world.
Yeah, they are super easy right now. Especially if they're under the age of 18. The application and underwriting process fast. I know you had a couple of them just maybe a week and a half or so ago that went through from start to finish, like to approval, like within 2 days.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And what a lot of people don't know is you have to have an insurable interest to insure minors, meaning you have to be a parent, guardian, or even grandparents. And I got to be honest with you, with me being a grandparent now, that was one of the first things I did for Emily, is make sure that she had a insurance policy from Grandpa, that she'll be able to have down the road, and do whatever the heck she wants to when I'm probably long gone, and it makes a great gift.
Yeah. No, that's very true. And you and I also, in connection to that, you and I just got off of a Zoom call that, the presenter talked about insurance as an investment, and that couldn't be more truer for juvenile policy. You get a policy for someone that's under the age of 10. It might not really mean anything to them now, but in 20, 30 years, there's going to definitely be some value there. So it serves as a savings account almost for the child as well.
Oh, it's almost like a forced savings account, because not only are you protecting their lives if, God forbid, something happens, but it's also creating value with the money you are putting into it. And I mean, even my kids, I did a 20-year whole life product for them when they were 14 and 12. So meaning in 20 years, when they're looking to buy their first house, they'll have a really nice down payment that's going to be tax-free coming back to them from that whole life policy. I mean, in the company we work for, Chris, they've been around for 176 years, and they have not missed a dividend payment in 161, which is, I mean, the closest you're going to get to a sure thing. There's no sure things in life, but I feel pretty confident that we're going to be around for the future.
Yeah, definitely. So again, for those that are listening, we throw different things at you on a weekly basis, and we also solicit the fact that you're more than welcome to reach out to us through our site, Insurance Questions Podcast, to ask questions. But as far as the juvenile policies go, right now is a great time to be thinking about that. The kids are going to be finishing school here soon. Let's not let another year go by. And the other nice thing is it's very inexpensive at that age to get a policy for a child.
Oh, most definitely. The younger they are, the better your value, because with insurance, every day you get older, and every day you get older, meaning that policy is going to cost you more money.
Yeah,
so hedge your bets, get your kids insured, get your grandchildren insured, and they'll have a nice little nest egg for themselves down the road. And you can actually transfer ownership to them when they do become of legal age. So I mean, that's something you got to keep in the back of your hand. But that being said, make sure they're going to pay for it, because I remember years ago I had an appointment with a gentleman in South Buffalo. He says, hey, how's my son's policy doing? He's been paying for it for the past 5 years. I let him have ownership of it when he was 18. Well, he never paid for it, and the policy lapsed. So all that money that Dad paid for and had good wishes and everything, it all went back into paying the policy to the point where there was no more value left, and it canceled. So that's just make sure they're going to do their part and pay for it if you're actually going to do something like that.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
So what else you got going for the weekend, Chris? What's shaking?
Well, I actually wrote a couple policies yesterday that I was doing some administrative work on. I have got a few other things that I am working on the business side. As far as the weekend goes, hopefully the weather is nice and I can get out and enjoy some outdoor activities. Right now the plan is to maybe get some inline skating and maybe get on the bike as well. So we'll see.
All right, well, listen, I'm looking at the clock, and we're getting to that time that we're going to be pretty much done. I want to thank everybody for listening to us, as always, and thank you for co-hosting with me, Chris. I hope you have a wonderful, safe weekend, and we'll see everybody next time on Insurance Question Podcast. Everybody have a great day, and stay safe.
Take care, Ed. We'll see you.